Eli was a friend of Moses. When we got close to the Promised Land, Moses sent 12 scouts ahead to see what the land was like and how strong the people who already lived there were. 10 of those scouts were scared by what they saw. Only Caleb and I saw that God was with us and that we could find a new home for our people there. When Moses died, just before we entered the Promised Land, I became the group's new leader. I led the Hebrew army in many battles, among them with the Battle of Jericho. I saw things in a clear-cut fashion. They were either this or that. From that perspective, I was zealous for the Lord God and told the people that they had a choice in life, to follow the Lord or to follow other gods. For me and my house, we will serve the Lord. I was certain that God would take care of us.
I married into a Hebrew family when they were out of the country. I loved my husband and his family. You can imagine how hard it was when my father-in-law died. Then my brother-in-law, and then my husband. There we were, 3 widows. No one was there to care for us, and in our day, that was very serious. My mother-in-law, Naomi, suggested my sister-in-law and I return to our hometowns and try to find a new husband. My sister-in-law, Orpah, did just that. But I stayed with Naomi because she had no one to look after her. I told her, "Where you go, I will go. Your people will be my people. Your God will be my God." And I saw just how wonderfully God took care of both of us.
I think I always wanted to be a mother. My husband, Elkanah, had 2 wives. Don't worry, that was not unusual in my time. His other wife, Peninnah, had many children. I had none. Peninnah made me miserable by teasing me, saying God didn't want me to have children. I was so distraught. One time when we went to make offerings to God that I wept and prayed, asking God for a son. I promised God that I would dedicate him to the Lord. I was praying silently, but my lips were moving. The priest there thought I was drunk and tried to send me on my way. I told him about my prayer, and he blessed me. Soon I had a son, Samuel. And just as I promised, when he was old enough, I took him to serve God with the priest. God took care of me.
I served God from the very beginning of my life. I can hardly remember anything before going to serve with Eli the priest, but I didn't learn much about God for a few years. One night as I was sleeping, I heard someone call my name. I got up and went into Eli's room, but he said it wasn't him. This happened twice. Then he realized that it was the Lord calling to me. He told me what to say if it happened again. When I heard the third call, I responded, "Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening." God told me some hard things about Eli and his family. And when Eli asked me the next morning, he insisted I repeat what the Lord said. That was the beginning of my service as a prophet of the Lord. And all through my life, God took care of me.